What is going on, YouTube? My name is Devin, and I'm bringing you guys another midday stock review. Well, not really midday. It's 4 p.m. The market's just closed, and I'm basically just going to go over the markets, what I traded today, and where I think the market is going to head from here. So it is another green day for me. As I'm sitting here recording this video, I'm trying to think of what I'm going to spend the money I won on. I won a whole whopping $2.71 after commissions. So maybe I'll treat myself. I'll go to the store later, buy a few gumballs. That should hold me over for the rest of the week. So hopefully that will be money well spent on my gumballs. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, this week has been phenomenal for me. I wish I'm able to get some bigger winners at the end of the week here, because I'm really struggling to try to get some solid winners here, and I don't know if that's because I'm playing too conservative and taking options with smaller deltas, or if I'm just exiting out the trades too early. But before commissions, I made about 0.1 R on the day, which brings me up to about, I think, 0.93 Rs for the month of June. So this month is already going phenomenal, better than May was. And if I go over to my trading stats, as you guys can see, since I moved over to Tastyworks, I have 8 wins and 5 losses, bringing my win-loss percentage up to 61.5%, which I think is the best that it has ever been. So accuracy has been on point. For June, I'm at 83.33% win-loss ratio, with 5 or 6 trades and 5 of those being winners. So I might take the day off tomorrow because I am getting too cocky, and the trade that I took today almost didn't work, but it did. So that's a great reminder on not to get too cocky, because the market's always going to correct you. So, as you guys can see here, I'm just going to go over my trade real quick. And the trade that I took was a bearish position on Apple. And it didn't really do much. I was in this trade for about 2 hours, and I will replay it from where I saw it. So if we go back to this time now, it's about 10:10. The markets were red. The SPY, the Qs, the Dow, everything was red, and Apple was the only notable thing that I seen that was still hanging on in the green just a little bit. So what I thought was going to happen is that Apple was going to be the laggard and end up going lower and ultimately filling this gap that we've left on the 10th of June. So that was really my ultimate target. So basically what you had here, I thought this was going to be some form of a double top pattern. So what I did is this candle that formed right here is when I ended up getting in. As you guys can see, a nice long upper shadow near the high of day, and it seems like that we did have some problems here all throughout yesterday. As you guys can see, we bounced off it once, bounced off it twice, bouncing off it some more. So I was like, this could be a pretty solid place to end up putting a position in. So once this candle closed underneath this long bearish candle right here, that is ultimately when I decided to get in. I got in 1 minute before that candle closed, so I got in at about 194.70. So this was my entry. I was very conservative on this stop, as I have had a $2 stop on this one at 196.70, specifically for the point because I wanted to make sure that we got above these highs that we posted here and here. So I didn't want to have a stop too conservative, because we could have faked out and we could have retested yesterday's highs before rolling over. So I was like, I'll put the stop up there, and I'll see how it goes. So it looked like it started off going really well. The next candle to form after my entry, we got a ton of bearish volume coming in, but we never really closed below the 100 simple moving average, and that was one of my bigger concerns as I was holding on for the trade. The next candle to come in posted 1 penny away from a tweezer bottom, so that was kind of concerning. And it was kind of a bullish engulfing candle, as this candle completely engulfed the bearish candle prior to that. And then if I continue playing it, this candle right here had me worried. I almost exited at about right here, at about 195.60 to just take my loss. But I took a step back and I was like, wait a second. Every single time we get a strong move in the opposite direction, I move my stop down too quick and I just bail out on the trade. I was like, this was an insane move from 194.38 up to a high of 195.93. There's no way the stock is going to continue going up at the pace it's going to get me stopped out at 196.70. So I was like, there's no point of taking my loss right here, right? Maybe we trade up a little higher before coming back down to retest previous high of day and then bouncing. But there's no way that I'm going to take off my loss right here for a $16 loss, which would have been about 0.5 bars. So the next candle to form, you got a nice bearish candle. And then the next candle to form off of that, you got another nice bearish candle. So if you guys have been watching my previous videos, you know that I love this pattern right here, as this is your evening star reversal pattern. And the only mistake that I can see in this trade that I make is that I took it at 10:25 a.m. Now, most of the time, whenever I take a trade before 11, it normally ends up reversing on me due to whatever reason. I'm not too sure why. But if I ended up waiting until almost noontime, if I waited another 30 minutes, this trade would have been phenomenally better because I would have taken it around 195.25 once I realized that we were going to get a pretty strong close on this candle right here. So the next candle will come in, another nice upper shadow. And as you guys can see here, we did bounce off of the high or the resistance that we posted yesterday. So that was really nice on my part, knowing that that might happen and to put my stop above that. So nice, still kind of pretty bearish candle. If I continue playing it out here, I'm just going to speed it up because I held this thing for like 2 hours. So if we just continue playing it, we got the flush down lower, closed below kind of this support level right here. We started consolidating again. And then I didn't exit there because I was still looking for that move lower. I thought if we close below the 100 simple, we could definitely see the 200 simple moving average coming up shortly. So holding on through all of this chop right here. And then this is the candle I wanted to see. We finally seemed like we got a nice close right on top of the 100. So I was like, this thing looks like it's about to crack. It's still only down like 20 cents on the day when the overall market is down like a point or so. So I really thought that this was going to follow suit and maybe retest the low of day. So I was still holding on for this candle. Wasn't a huge fan of that lower wick because the volume was increasing. So it kind of made me think that buyers were starting to come in. And then on this next candle right here, some pretty strong bullish volume. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut my losses on this when I'm out. And I exited right there for about, oh, not a support resistance, for about $4 or $2.71 after commissions, depending on how you want to look at that. So really not much going on. Another brutally painful day after yesterday. Both yesterday and today were incredibly hard to trade. However, there was one pattern that I pointed out at the middle of the day when I just exited my Apple position that seemed to work pretty well. And you could have played this position bullish and you would have made some money as long as you were to catch your gains quick enough. So we opened back here. If you like extend this out, it just looks like one brutally long day because we didn't really have any gaps either. So we opened right here. So if you look at it, it's kind of like a double bottom. Your double bottom is right here. You got a retest of the neckline, and then we screamed a little higher. I almost took this trade, but seeing how brutally choppy we were, I was just done for the day. Took my $2. I was like, see ya. I'll count that toward my win, and I'll snag something else another day. But that would have worked fine. Just for some clarity, your entry could have been right there off of that retest on the red candle. Your stop could have been down at around 75, let's put it. Maybe even 70 so you wouldn't get stopped out if something happened. That would have been your stop. And then your target, this would have been a tough one because there was really no target. It was still a lot of chop. But up here maybe, near the 100 simple moving average at about 288.50. Once you got a lot of red candles in a row, could have been your target. So yeah, again, not much is happening. If I go to auto here, we're kind of just floating in no man's land. The volume is decreasing pretty rapidly, so we're definitely going to be in a consolidation phase where we probably chop sideways for a little bit, giving the market some time for the 10 EMA to come up and hold up as support. But who knows? We got the gap lower that I thought we were going to get by just a few pennies, and nothing much really happened. And if you go to Apple, I mean, Apple has just been on a cruiser with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green days in a row, which is incredibly strong. And if you go to the price range on this, from the lows to the recent highs, you're up about 15%. So the fact that, I don't know why I keep doing that. So the fact that this didn't roll over harder than I thought it was going to is really just disappointing. But when it comes to the market, anything is possible. Really late volume today in Apple. So what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow, if I end up deciding to trade tomorrow, is a gap underneath of these two candles right here. Especially this candle right here. Because it closed on the green side. I did that for like the 5th time in this video. Because we closed on the green side. So anybody who decided to buy up near these 3 candles right here are going to be trapped on the day prior, or the following day, if we do get a gap down below those levels. So that's personally what I'm going to be looking out for. Overall, still really strong for the month of June. I'm building myself a nice solid cushion. Now I just got to remember in the back of my mind that as the month continues to progress, to be weary about my confidence, because I can already see my confidence starting to show. And if I was coming off of a loss yesterday, I definitely wouldn't have taken this trade as early as I did. I would have probably taken it up here towards that evening star reversal, and it would have just ultimately worked a lot better. So that's something that I got to keep in mind as we continue to close out the month of June here. We still got about 2 weeks left, so I'm excited to see what the rest of June brings. It's going to be the first time ever, if I can somehow land another winning trade tomorrow, that I'll be up a total of 1 R on a month. So I'm definitely starting to see progress, and I'm definitely excited for what's to come. So anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe button. I try to pump these videos out daily. It's a little tough for me on Thursdays and Fridays, so you might not see a video from me tomorrow or the day after. But if I get a chance, I'll make sure to pump that out. If you learned something new, make sure to hit that like button. And if there's anything that I could have done to improve this Apple trade, then make sure to leave it in the comments below as well. I love hearing from more experienced traders, and it's always nice when you get another person's opinion on what I could have potentially done different. And if you have a stock that you would like for me to review, make sure to dump that in the comment section below as well, because I like to see what's out there, and I like to see new stocks other than the typical 12 or so that I trade on a day-to-day basis. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you guys sometimes in the future. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you all soon.